Study Section 3. Modern African Drama Defined. Introduction. This lecture is to provide a definition for modern African drama. More so, to see how scholars view and classify the course under study. Objective. At the end of the lecture, you should be able to explain modern African drama with clear insight and, importantly, provide a personalized definition based on your knowledge. Content. Essentially, modern African drama refers to plays written by Africans on colonial and post-colonial African experiences. In this regard, South Africa does not really fall under this category, because until 1994 precisely, the South African nation never experienced genuine independence. Yet, quite a number of plays have surfaced from South Africa, still on South African plays. These plays are quite unique in their expression of despair and pain, the ardent struggle for survival, with regards to aspiration of the Africans in the formerly medieval apartheid South Africa. Modern African drama experienced a rapid growth only after the independence of most African states. With the proliferation and growth of post-independence African drama, there have since been criticisms which have helped shape its quality of focus and form. According to Da Silva Ademola, African drama has come of age. It is indeed possible to harness such findings as are common with its peculiar hybrid form for purpose of involving a body of relevant homegrown theories and literary canons appropriate for its criticism. 1997, page 56. Modern African drama, as earlier classified as reflecting colonial and post-colonial excesses, unequivocally shows concern about dislocated social values or cultural decadence, or it simply implies cultural integrationism, essentially preoccupied by culture. Likewise, modern African drama is concerned with political or quasi-political torso of any ideological presentation. The informing vision is nationalism. Hence, in the plays whose thematic undercurrents are to be examined, there are bound to be overlap, or more appropriately, a mixture of both cultural and nationalist topical dramatical discourses. In the world of Da Silva, most of the African plays constantly probe the newly acquired European values. There is predictably a constant conflict between the African culture and the European values. 1997-58. For instance, Wole Soyinka's The Lion and the Girl, 1973, explores the possibility of coexistence of the best of the old order and the best of the new order. Chief Baroka, the Baale of Ilujile, demonstrates time in the encounter with the stranger from the city. This is also exemplified in the character of Chief Baroka and Lakunle, the village teacher. There is recurrently a constant conflict between the African culture, in bracket, the old order, and the European culture, in bracket, the new order. Sometimes the old and the new are satirized in a way that reduces the latter to a satiric object in order to justify the ideals of the African culture. In line with the archetypal representation of both old and new order, in Taufik Al-Hakim's Song of Death, 1974, Alwan rejects his people tradition of revenge and malice, as it reflects in his newly acquired Western education. The play opens with Alwan's mother, Asaki and Mabroka, our sister discussing about the imminent arrival of Awan to revenge the death of his father. The play is set in a rural background, unlike most Egyptian plays. It presents a picture of a rural area as an oppressed and alienated people, in sharp contradiction with the urban center. The play, and earlier depicted, is a conflict, the attitude between the rural conservatives and urban modern and westernized area. Awan has sojourned in Cairo at the Al-Azhar University for 17 years, and this had drastically affected his world outlook. In the village, there is a little value placed on human life, and the overriding tenet is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Trivial or inconsequential occurrence could result in bloodletting, which may run for generations. This is a society that Awan revolves to change, in the same vein as Lakunle in The Lion and the Jewel. The play is also a play about personal conflict or interpretation of duty and honor. Awan confronts his mothers thus: I shall tell them, when will the water jar be replaced by clean running water, and electricity replace lanterns? If they unite and help one another to cooperate in setting up a council from among themselves, which will impose taxes on those who can pay, and so form teams of the strong, we set up bridges and constructions works instead of wasting it on dissension and scrabbles. 1973-87. Here lies the fracas between the old as presented in the character of Asaki, Awan's mother, Awan himself as a representative of the new order based on colonialist angst. The influence of colonialism and its attendant positive representation and misinterpretation of its recurrent clashes with African traditional values as a major thematic preoccupation of modern African playwrights. As a follow-up to this, Joe de Graaf's Sons and Daughter examines the predicaments of the new order under the brutal oppression of the old values. In essence, most of the play under this classification have common targets. That is, they basically take cognizance of the significance of African culture. This is well exemplified in Shoyinka's The Lion and the Jewel and Death and the King's Horseman. Some of these plays also bring to the fore benefits of Western ways of life. Still on anti-imperialism as a major thematic preoccupation, Ngugi wa Thiong'o and Mnimsilmugo in The Trial of Denda Kimati, 1976, an insight into the contemporary Kenya politics is to come face to face with the abuses to which the African ruling classes have subjected history. For at the heart of the conflictual essence of Kenyan politics is the assessment of the pre-colonial and colonial periods. The play stresses and proposes anti-imperialist ideas as represented in Marxist ideological conceptions of the playwrights. Ngugi and Mesal, one cannot stand on the fence, and we are either on the side of the people or on the side of the imperialists to them. African playwrights are either fighting with the people or aiding imperialism, and the class enemies of the people, that which, without concealing mistakes and weaknesses, gives people courage and urges them to higher resolve in their struggle for total liberation. Page 4. Basically, the trial of Denda Kimati is rooted in the Marxist ideological perception which builds around class struggle, specifically the imperialists and the poor as represented in the Kenyan society. Kimati as a character represents the proletariat as emerged in Marxist idea. In Ama Ata Aido Anoa, 1970, which is a feminist-oriented play, portrays heroine Anoa as superior to the male counterpart. Here, Aido tries to criticize the way women are subjugated and oppressed in a male-dominated society. Is very open and consistent. Indeed, Anoa is portrayed as a very intelligent, hardworking, independent, and forward-looking woman to show that she is physically, intellectually, morally, and spiritually superior to any man. Anoa ought to have been a man, page 24. In her, there are certain universal traits such as rebellion, quest for self-fulfillment, and the right to self-determination. In Anoa, there is an underlined war of sexes. Women are strangely dominated by their male counterparts, and yet women are also strangely irrational as there are oppositions even among women themselves. It is this sociological dictate or conventional pattern that Anoa is vehemently against. The ideological conflict between Kofi and Anoa are as a result of Kofi striving to assert his manhood or supremacy over Anoa. I know I could not have started without you, but after all, we all know you are a woman and I am the man. 1970, page 29. Kofi becomes a woman in the process of asserting the manhood. He uses brute force to gain superiority over Anoa, but in the end, the moral victory belongs to Anoa, who becomes a martyr, dying for the cause of African women, trodden down by their male counterparts. Page 64. Feministic portrayed by African female playwrights have been a major preoccupation, and this has reflected in the structure and language of their plays. Of note is the emasculation of their male character and endowing their female character with masculine ideas. According to Ellen Chukuma, feminism means a rejection of inferiority and a striving for recognition. It seeks to give the woman a sense of self as a worthy, virtual, and contributing human being. Feminism is a reaction to such types of women which deny them positive identity. 1997, page 45. Significantly, African playwrights belong to the Bethy, bourgeois class of teachers and civil servants. The recent emergence of radical leftist playwrights like Ugugi, Hussein, Femi Shofisan, Bode Showande, and others is partly evidence of greater ideological clarity within the ranks of committed African playwrights. Modern African drama is a definite response to the happenings in our environment, or more appropriately, a response to the distress brought about by colonialism and neocolonialism. Among its thematic preoccupations include politics, philosophy, social and affective plays. Hence, it will be difficult to say a particular work deals with either political or social themes, but the plays overlap. Summary. In this lecture, we have learned that modern African drama is a product of colonial and post-colonial experiences. We have also learned with copious examples by examining few of these texts to situate some of these experiences. More so, modern African drama is a blend of the traditional and the Western ideas. End of study section 3. Thanks for listening.